It is fight week for Lethal, Natan Levy, and Natan. Talk to you about the feeling. I mean, you come in this time back-to-back wins. You got a little streak going. You've had some experience in the UFC. You've been in the big arena. So, I don't know. Are you feeling a little more confident, a little more comfortable as you approach fight week this week?
Yeah, I feel a lot more confident and comfortable. Like you said, with the big arena, I felt like until now I was playing the demo. I was playing the 2 weeks trial, but now I got the subscription, the real thing. Uh, yeah, so that was really exciting fighting in a big arena. We're going back to the Apex, but I feel like that last performance, really showed my level. Almost finishing Valdez, a few times during the fight on the feet. So I'm definitely getting more comfortable striking in MMA and fighting in the UFC.
I love it, man. That was back in December. It's been 4 months since. I guess I was going to kind of ask you what your focus was or what you've been. I mean, I think this is pretty much a lifestyle for you, right? Like you don't like stop training out of camp or anything like that. So I guess what's the primary focus been during this time away?
Just recovering. I had a couple small injuries, um, and yeah, training, getting better. Um, I really feel like I'm getting better all the time, and I think every fight that I fought to this day was better than the prior one. So I'm looking forward to putting my best performance this Saturday.
I love it. Do you take breaks at all, or are you like back in the gym on Monday, like already working out?
My coach forces me to take a week off, so that's it. So now after every fight, I take at least a week off, and yeah, I love training. For me, like all the vacations I want to take in my mind, and every time I say, "Oh, after this fight, I'm going to fly to Thailand to train, to Japan to train." That's like what I want to do.
You don't just take a vacation to go sightseeing. It's just another place to go work out.
Yeah, I want to train like once or twice a day, and hang out and have some fun and beach and stuff. But there's got to be training involved.
I love it, man. Well, you talked about feeling more comfortable and like you really belong. Got the new contract too, right? I mean, how did that make you feel that the UFC said, "Hey, let's sign you back up and get you in there"?
Yeah, second contract. It's a dream come true, and I'm very thankful to my management, to the UFC for wanting me to stick around. I feel like all my fights in the UFC so far have been good fights, entertaining fights. Every time I was done fighting, I would see, people tweeting that it needs to be fight of the night, stuff like that. So I feel like I'm doing a good job so far, and I'm happy to continue this relationship.
Absolutely. Congratulations on that. And as you said, you're back to action this Saturday, UFC Apex. Pete Rodriguez on the other side of the cage. I guess give me your thoughts on him as an opponent. Still kind of a new name to the UFC as well. A couple performances, but what do you think of what he brings to the cage?
Like every fighter, I respect him. I never take any fight lightly. I don't think he's a fight that should be taken lightly. He's got a lot of power in his punches. He's very aggressive. He's got confidence. When all your fights are finishing in the first round KO, that that only builds up the momentum of coming even harder in the first round and just going. But we haven't seen too much from him in the UFC. Obviously, the Jack fight, that was a big, I feel like kind of a mismatch. Can't really say it was a fair fight. Um, I know he's not on that level, but who is really in their debut? And Michael Jackson, it is what it is. So not too much to gauge from those performances, but I feel like I know I see what he brings to the table, and I've prepared for it.
It's interesting because you mentioned his first round finishes, right? I mean, he's never fought out of the first round as a pro. So I'm curious how you approach that. On the one hand, I know you're looking for a finish as well. So maybe you go out there and engage in the chaos and see what happens. On the other hand, it might be nice to just get to kind of draw him out a little bit, right? See if you can fatigue him. He's never fought out of the first round. How does he handle it? So I guess, without giving away too much, like what's your mindset? Do you hope it's crazy, chaotic, wild first round, or do you hope to kind of extend this a little bit?
I think chaos definitely goes in his favor because I feel like I'm the more skilled fighter. So, chaos is like a flip of a coin, gives everybody an opportunity. But at the same time, I got to hold my ground. I got to fight back. If, he comes in first round throwing bombs and I'm just moving away. Well, first thing is he's winning the round. Second thing is you can only move away for so long until something catches you. So you got to earn that respect. You got to come in there and bite down on the mouthpiece and fight back. Now, does it have to turn into chaos? It's a fight, it's chaos, but you can kind of try and control it not getting completely out of hand, and put some order in that chaos. Through the discipline, through the technique and style in martial arts. But yeah, I can't really assume, like I said, so maybe he fights so hard in the first round because he knows he can't fight for 2-3 rounds. Or maybe he fights that hard because he knows he's got the cardio to go all day. I can't really know. So I guess we're going to have to find out.
I love it. Very well said. You talked about the near finishes last time. I mean, you've got these back-to-back wins. Is it important to you to get a finish? Like, are you thinking that in your mindset? Like, I got to get a knockout. I got to get a submission. Or, hey, is a win a win? I mean, you still get that second check. You still get to move forward. So does it matter to you if you get the finish, or is it just about getting the hand raised?
Look, a win is a win, but of course it matters to me. I don't got to finish this, but I want to finish this. And I feel like I can and I should. And, it's easy to say, oh, I'm going to finish this guy, I'm going to finish that guy. And then sometimes in fights, it doesn't happen. You got to have some technique, some strategy. I can tell you, for example, Valdez, I dropped him a few times. I keep pouring energy, but I keep seeing the guy has a spring in his ass and he gets back up. Maybe it's time to, slow down a little bit, breathe, and build back. But I'm always trying to finish. That's my job. That's what I want to do. And the bonus would be great. But again, it's not a I got a question. It's just I really want to.
Absolutely. You mentioned being back at the Apex after fighting in front of a crowd. There's some people I think really like fighting at the Apex, right? They say, the nerves seem a little bit less. I can hear my coaches better. Then there's other people that say, no, man, I like being in front of that crowd. I need that adrenaline. Like, do you favor one over the other? I mean, you've had several performances at the Apex. Do you prefer the big crowd, or do you almost like fighting at the Apex more?
I like fighting in front of a crowd more. I think I have a side in me that likes the showmanship, I feel like if I'm sparring and nobody's watching and I'm sparring and 2-3 people are watching, it's going to bring more out of me. So imagine when 10,000 people are watching, then I'm going to spin some shit.
I love it. I know you like to entertain. Yeah. I know that about you.
Yeah. I wish I had an earpiece that I could hear my coaches real clear. But, Apex, yeah, you hear your coaches better. Big crowd, you get more energy. There's pros and cons. I feel like if I'm already putting in the effort, step into the cage, putting it all out there, might as well there be a crowd to enjoy it.
I love it. Well, it's another big opportunity for you, Natan. And talk to me, man. A big win here. Again, maybe a big finish here, as you said, maybe a bonus. What's the plan this year? Because I feel like, you really are a martial artist at heart, and you're not trying to rush things necessarily in your career. But, I mean, you start getting on a win streak, you start moving up the division a little bit. So I don't know. How do you see this year playing out? What are your goals after you get the win here?
I'd love to fight 3 times this year. That's been a goal of mine for a long time because I've been fighting twice a year tops. Patience has always been a part of my game plan as far as career strategy. But you got to be patient where you got to be patient. And sometimes, some things you need to push to get them happening faster. I feel like that's okay. That's not a mistake. So I'd love to fight 3-4 times a year, especially now that I'm at that level, I feel like I'm pretty mature as far as a fighter, martial artist, and all that. Of course, I'm going to keep improving, but you know what's going to help me improve even more than training? Fighting. So I'm definitely down to fight a lot more than I've been fighting. I also feel and I understand that, you know, the UFC has so many fighters on the roster. I'm not their number one priority to book, but, you know, slowly I feel like I'm climbing that ladder and making it more of a priority to book me because I put on exciting fights, because I bring a crowd and attention, and also because I'm going to be climbing up the rankings and becoming, you know, a household name. So I feel like the UFC is getting a little bit more, you know, better at booking me closer between fights. So I'm happy about that.
Fantastic. Well, the performances do keep getting better every time out, and this one on paper looks like it could be a lot of fun. So, Natan, we look forward to it. We'll see you at the Apex this Saturday night. Hopefully, you see your hand raised again, and look forward to a great year from you.
Thank you very much. And if I can add, I've relaunched my jiu-jitsu shirt on levymma.com. So if anybody is a fan of my style, you know, you can jump in there.
Absolutely. Pick one up. We'll see you this Saturday, Natan. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.